Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing?
We are continuing our Back to Bond series. We're going through all the Daniel Craig's, James Bond. I've been having a great time. I don't know about you, Mason.
Yeah, no, we actually just talked about that off air, like how much fun this has been going through this series, the Daniel Craig James Bond films.
Yeah, we already did Casino Royale. Loved it.
It's great.
Big fans. What a way to start off the series,
and
Craig.
To have Mads Mikkelsen as the villain.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Then we go Quantum of Solace. It's a dip in the series.
Yo, absolutely. Yeah,
But-
my least favorite.
Yeah, yes, I would have to agree with that. But go back, watch our reviews for those two. But then we have the rise in the series. It goes like this in fucking waves in the James Bond series.
It's like cryptocurrency, the dip and then the up.
Yeah, always expect that.
Very volatile.
And with the up, we get Skyfall.
Yes.
Just Skyfall, no James Bond. Just Skyfall.
Directed by Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes, who directs this and Spectre, the follow-up.
Yes.
But he should know about the dip.
He should.
He should have not taken that second one.
Well,
Take the every other.
Every other. Yeah, because you know No Time to Die is going to be fucking awesome.
That's what I'm thinking, yes. But yeah, Sam Mendes directed 2 of the series, and he's an interesting director. He started out directing musicals. Then he broke into Hollywood, and Spielberg got him his start, actually.
Well, I think my favorite film of his is 1917.
Oh, my God.
That film was so fucking good.
1917.
And the continuation throughout the whole day.
We loved 1917. We reviewed that on the series
did.
as well, but we fucking loved. Yeah, and that I just kind of found out that he was a musical, but that 1917 is the most theatrical movie you can go and see. It deserves to be seen in a theater at the biggest screen possible.
Biggest screen and the best surround sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But he got his start, or his big break was directing American Beauty.
Oh, with the old Kevin Spacey.
The movie where Kevin Spacey is playing a dad who fantasizes about having sex with his daughter's high school best friend.
Wow. Huh. Can we put the correlation together? Can we kind of intertwine real life with fiction?
He must have been seeking out these roles. I mean, he was Joker-esque level.
Well, and even
of shoving in our faces.
Yeah. Well, he did that a few times throughout his career too.
He loved playing the bad guy. He was going to play the bad guy in this. He was going to play Javier Bardem's part.
Really?
Originally, because he had worked with Sam Mendes before. Yeah. And then I think they ended up saying he was too old or something for the role. But, so imagine him in there. He probably didn't want it because it had nothing to do with having sex with kids.
Of course. And then he's like, you know what? I'm sorry I read the script, but this isn't for me.
Is there any way we can work something in?
Just a scene or two where
throwaway?
I kiss a minor or something.
It can even be, it's a deleted scene. I mean, a deleted scene is fine. Just let me get in there.
Deleted scene. Doesn't care. The man doesn't care. He just needs.
Well, he's a villain.
He's a villain.
Straight up villain.
No, he's a real life villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, those videos, those Christmas videos he drops every year.
That's so weird.
It's so unnerving. It's like, what the?
When he's in character as the guy from
Frank Underwood from House of Cards on Netflix. Yeah,
and he titles him like Christmas with Frank or something. It's very fucking.
I don't think he ever got out of character.
Cell. Yeah, he needs to be put away.
He does.
But yes, but thank God. I mean, Kevin Spacey, I could say great actor,
Absolutely.
Not a great man, but no one could have done a better job than Javier Bardem.
Yeah,
he fucking. And this, I gotta say, is my favorite Daniel Craig James Bond. I know some people call it the Home Alone James Bond because it gets a little Home Alone-y at the end with the traps and whatnot. But I love it. I love it because this villain is so fucking good. And this is Daniel Craig this is his James Bond at his lowest. Like, he is a shell of a man. I mean, he gets shot twice.
Well, and he's not passing a single test. It's rough. The physical test, the mental test, the fitness test. It's just an all around a bad grade. D's and F's.
Exactly, D's and F's all around. But he just looks the part in this too. He looks shitty. He's not like the cleaned up James Bond. He's got the bags under his eyes, 5 o'clock shadow. He gets shot twice within the first 20 minutes of the film.
Well, you kind of got to blame M there. I mean, she said take the shot.
M and Money Penny.
Yeah, or Money Penny. Penny Money Penny. She didn't want to take the shot, but you do not disobey orders.
It was not a clean shot.
No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
It was the dirtiest shot you could have taken.
You hit the wrong guy. You hit the wrong guy.
Not even close to the other guy.
No,
the
not
other
a very
guy
good
just
shot.
Hey, good looking out.
I'm kind of curious. Is M just passing people who fail? Because Moneypenny definitely did not pass those tests.
Oh, of course.
By taking that shot. Because she missed.
Well, it was a beautiful shot. Had she been aiming at James
Bond. Yes, a great shot. Had she been aiming
hitting someone on a moving train while they're fighting hand-to-hand combat.
Pretty hard to
difficult.
do.
It's very difficult. But, she got demoted immediately.
She did. Office job.
Which rightfully so.
Well, you can't go shooting around agents.
Not the 007.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets shot twice, almost immediately. In this 50 years of James Bond, this is only the second time James Bond has ever been shot.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
This guy can dodge bullets. I mean, imagine the rounds that have been shot at him.
Well, from the words of Dodge, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a bullet.
Yeah, I guess so, because... never, ever has, or one other time he's been shot, but he gets shot twice in this one. And he comes back, and he is, again, just a shell of a man. Mentally not there anymore.
No.
But M passes him on a test because this whole movie is about how Dame Judi Dench, we get a lot of her in this one, again. But it's much better use, I think, in this one. She's much better used in this one than she is in Quantum of Solace.
Well, also with the character arc of like her not being able to, because in the first two, Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, she could not trust James Bond.
Right.
And you see kind of this now where she's falling into this where James Bond is actually the only one she can trust.
And
so
it's
that
the thing
character
is,
arc is
you
interesting.
can't trust M because little do you know, M's going through agents like potato chips.
Yeah,
I mean, she sees a 00 that is just hurting, and she thinks, send that guy out because you can get him to do anything.
They're a dime a dozen.
Exactly.
You can just go through them and train more.
And that's what I love about this story is, there's always this close relationship between. I mean, they call M Mum. That's the thing is, I mean, because all these 00 agents are guys.
I didn't know if it was just a British way of saying ma'am or mum.
It's mum. I think that's kind of a interchangeable ma'am and mum in British culture, but it is like a respect thing. But they all call her mum. But I like the story that she's been going through agents and she kind of tosses them out willy nilly for country. It's never a selfish thing, but at the end of the day, she cuts a lot of these agents loose, and not all the time do they die. They come back as Raul Silva,
and
very
upset, to kill her.
Very upset. But I love that whole relationship between James Bond and Judi Dench in this one, because they find out that she is not perfect.
No,
not at all.
She's got her flaws,
absolutely, and she's got a long history. What's it always say?
When it comes to play with Javier's character as well, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, back in 97, she did not do the right things, and thus this man is trying to come back and kill her.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing where it's like you can see either way. She exchanged him for 6 agents.
Well, and also, gave him up.
And it meant for a peaceful transition because they were in Hong Kong when England was in Hong Kong, controlling. And then they were going to... Because he was hacking the Chinese when you weren't supposed to.
And he was doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing.
If you don't even know about China, they do not like to get hacked that often.
No.
They like to do the hacking.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They do like to hack.
They don't like it when it's flipped around on them.
Oh, when the tables have turned.
So he's got a crazy story, Javier Bardem's character. They send him to a Chinese prison camp torture him for months. And after months, he can't take the torture anymore.
What was that shit that they were pouring in his mouth? They were injecting him with something, and it like that scene when he's in the cell and M shows up and he goes, "Look at what you've done," and he takes out his dentures and his face is disformed and his mouth is all black.
Oh no, he bit into his cyanide capsule.
Cyanide capsule, that's what it was, right? Yeah.
So they tortured him for so long that after 5 months he couldn't take it anymore. He didn't give up any information, so he tried to kill himself.
Oh, and that went awfully wrong. Awfully wrong. God, that's
You know
the
anything
worst
about
case scenario.
You know anything about cyanide? It hurts. Even to swallow the pill, it hurts.
Well, that's what they were talking.
I would have swallowed the tooth, let that dissolve.
Yep.
It's going to burn your stomach.
Yeah.
It's going to be some stomach
Well,
acid.
Jonestown, when they were forcing cyanide down, like the people who survived that were talking about how awful it was because they could hear the screams and the
Yeah, it
and
just
the pain
burns your
of
insides,
people.
which
Yeah.
happened to him. It burned his face. It didn't get down to the stomach, unfortunately.
Did not. You must have puked that up.
But that scene is so fucking good. And I got to bring this up. Let's talk about glass prison cells in film. I
brought it up watching this with my wife.
There's never been
Where's
a
he gonna shit? Immediately, she started laughing.
There's never been a glass prison cell that has not been broken out of. It's not more secure. In every film, Hannibal, stupid Fast and Furious, and a dozen more, they put him in those glass cells, and it's foolproof to get out of.
No.
It's metal bars is the way to go.
Well, I think it would be even more unsecure. And where does one defecate? Where does one urinate? It makes no sense.
You gotta go.
Ever.
You gotta go out every time. Yeah, someone's gotta walk you out. It's a huge security risk.
Oh, absolutely. You're putting your guards at high risk.
It is the most theatrical cell you can have in a movie.
People continue to do it. I don't get it. Can we just go with a normal cell?
I will bring it up every time I see it. Yeah, good old iron bars. You can't hack iron bars.
Nope, you can't.
You can't get into them.
I don't understand why
Unhackable.
films continue to do the glass cell. It doesn't make any sense.
But that scene when he talks to M, he finally fucking confronts her, and she won't say his name. It's a really fucking good scene when she's like, "We wrote that name when you died. His real name is Tiago Rodriguez."
Right.
But they're like, they wrote that name, and she's like, "But I will have it struck from the walls." And then she turns around to leave, and he says, "Wait," and he fucking pulls the prosthetic out, and he looks like Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, no, he looks like
He's a monster man. Yeah, it's fucking horrifying, but good nonetheless. It's an awesome fucking scene.
Well, and that's really where you understand where that character's coming from and why he has so much disdain and hate for M.
Yeah.
Because from his perspective, she completely screwed him over.
Absolutely. And that's what another thing I love about this film so much is it deviates from the larger picture, Spectre, Quantum, the whole type of, underlying terrorist organization. It just goes for this kind of revenge tale of this guy just going after him because she screwed him over. Eventually, in Spectre, they end up connecting Thiago Silva with Spectre because everything's connected with Spectre. But this film has none of that set up, or they're not setting up the next film or anything like that. It's just a pretty simple revenge tale of an agent that was a 00, literally was James Bond. But like all the James Bonds, usually they die. He's just the one that didn't die.
Yeah.
And now he wants fucking revenge. But he's a cyber terrorist. We got to talk about that. This guy can hack. If it's got wires, he could hack it.
Of course. And we got to talk about that first meeting between him and Bond. Silva and Bond, when they meet up in this giant... So it was fascinating,
So
the
cool.
island that they basically lied to everyone about, and everyone fled. And, he's doing that big monologue as he walks Bond through the whole thing.
One of my favorite intros to a Bond villain, too. When he comes out and does that story about the rats.
Yes.
It's so fucking good.
In the way it's shot,
so
too.
slow.
He's all the way down the hall. So you don't even see his face. You don't see anything. You just see a man walking forward
You see this
telling a
weird,
story.
almost feminine silhouette. Because that's what he is. He's breaking all the walls of what an agent should be. He's not a manly man. He's almost pansexual. But yeah, you see that long shot and of him telling the story.
I love it. It's a great wide shot too. You see
Yeah.
all the hard drives and stuff all the way down, and he's just literally telling the story of the rats all the way up. But again, it's a great way that it was shot, and two, great acting.
Yes.
Be able to have that monologue just hit all those beats.
That intros
as you're
everything,
walking,
yeah.
it does.
Because it doesn't
Sets up the character.
It does not set it. We don't get Raul Silva. We don't get Javier Bardem's introduction until about halfway through the movie. Mm-hmm. We never see him.
No.
Kind of rare, we don't see him till very later on. He's terrorizing them, but he's doing it through computers and whatnot. We don't get him. But once we meet him, man, it's him every other scene, and it's fucking worth it.
I know, he's such a good actor.
Because the energy it's pumped up once you fucking start meeting him. But yeah, that whole story about the rats and how him and Bond are the last rats, and now they can either eat each other or eat everyone else on the island. Oh, it's fucking good.
It is.
And a long single take, too. So a long monologue.
Yeah,
For
all the way down.
All the way down, and perfect placement. Who were the guys doing the tape on the floor? Brought them right up at the very end of the monologue. So it was really good timing. Yeah,
It was.
I wonder how long they shot that.
It was probably a few takes.
Because that whole scene is so, even past that monologue, that whole scene is so good when he's like looking over his scars, and he's just, clearly his goal is to take James Bond out of his comfort level.
Well, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does. Because, James Bond is looked at as the very masculine man who gets all the women,
He
all
fucks
the
every
attention.
woman that's ever walked past
Well,
him.
it's crazy. Within 5 seconds, this guy just gives a girl a look and her panties drop.
Nothing-
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Nothing makes Bond happier than to see a female receptionist.
He loves them.
Because he knows,
Or a bell girl
He knows
at a
he's gonna get
hotel.
right fucking through.
Yeah.
He's gonna need no credentials or anything, and he's gonna end up fucking her too.
He says 3 words, and he repeats 2 of them.
Yeah,
Bond. James
Bond. Yeah.
Bond.
And
And
that's
that's all
it.
he's got to do.
Yeah, yelling his code name everywhere he goes.
Yes. It's just not very good if you're a spy to tell people your real name. But,
Yeah, I know, but
that's Bond. That's his style. That's the way he rolls.
But yeah, that scene of him touching him and making him uncomfortable, and he's like, because he's fucking with him.
Oh,
he's like,
for
"What's
sure.
your training saying right now?" Little does he know, Bond will fuck anything with a pulse. It
will.
doesn't female, male. It's part of the training.
Had his hands not been confined and tied
He
together,
would have
he would've.
shown Raul what his training meant. Yeah, he would have fucked him good.
He would have.
Yeah.
Good dicking down is what they call that.
He's Bond, baby. It's 2021 Bond. He fucks anything. But yeah, I love that scene. It's a great scene because it sets up Javier Bardem's character super well, because it shows this guy is, he's more than just evil. He's mentally unstable.
Yeah, you could say that.
He's got a one-track mind.
I would say-
It's to get revenge. Not only that, but he wants to kill himself with, he's got mommy issues.
Yeah, I'd say the compounding trauma.
Absolutely.
It's very traumatic for this man. He's gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So, but that scene too, God, that scene's powerful. Because when I was watching that, I was like, oh, wow, this guy really is deranged.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
he's really gone.
I love to even go back. This film also, to me, has one of the most beautiful Bond girls in it. The girl he meets at the Shanghai casino. Her
yes.
name's like Servain or something. Does not live long.
She does not.
Also, very fucking troubled character. She was like a sex slave at one point that was rescued by Silva, who did. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm
Here,
saying. I'm
come
like,
with me.
this is the one scenario where you might have been better off a sex slave. You might have been better off on the Tatooine sex boat that Jabba has.
And with this crazy asshole named Silva.
So, yes, but she's a fucking broken character for sure. Like, she's not the prissy, well-done Bond character that we know. And she has a tragic death as well.
Well, you got to play games. Again, that just shows you how sick Silva was. Because what he does is he puts, a shot glass on her head? Is that what it was?
Yep, a shot of whiskey.
A shot of whiskey, that's right. And, he gives James the first shot. But this gun's like a 1917
It's a
pistol.
flintlock.
Yeah.
And James, he can't shoot a Glock.
No.
He can't shoot a 2021 really well. So his hand, he's shaking. It's like
Well, and
he's the
Silva
first-
knows that he failed all of his tests, too. So he's not even a good shot. He knows he's not the same Bond or the 007 agent that he used to be. Bond takes a shot. He misses.
Thank God he didn't go. He obviously didn't go for it. He would have fucking taken her head off.
Absolutely. Yeah, but Silva takes the old shot.
Well, the
it's
goal
right
was
between the eyeballs.
The goal was to knock the glass off. He didn't say shoot the glass, so he took the easy way out.
He did.
Because Silva as well, I don't think would pass very many tests.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, he
Oh,
did
exactly.
say knock the glass
He
off.
wasn't going for.
I missed that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the whole reason. Is why
I thought he was just shooting her just because.
No, because
I can do what I
he
want.
takes a gun and doesn't even aim.
Yeah.
He just fucking pegs her. Yeah. Brutal death for that chick for sure.
Unfortunate.
She got roughed up too before that.
She did.
Yeah. But it showed you how evil he was. And that was the first time to show that M had been lying to Bond as well, because he had all his testing. He's like, look what she did. She put your life in danger.
Well, now Bond's second guessing himself. He's like, do I still have it? Yeah. I mean, I still have it with the ladies, but do I still have it with the physical?
And the answer is no.
No. Well, not at the time.
No, you don't. Yeah.
I think he got his confidence back
Well,
eventually.
exactly. Towards the end, I feel like he goes through all the tests when they're at his
At
property,
the
because
house.
he's doing the long jog, the run, and then he's got to shoot people and whatnot.
He's
and
got the swimming and holding the breath test.
exactly, yeah.
Strangles a man underwater in ice.
Almost
Then
dies.
swims back down.
Yeah.
Grabs a little flash. What are those things
Flare.
called? Flares. Shoots it. That was actually really smart. I like that.
I know, risky.
However,
you got to be able to hold your breath for 4
light.
minutes.
It's not that light underwater.
Yeah.
There was way too much light.
Well,
There was fire.
it was the light was the flames from his childhood home that got blown up multiple times.
It did.
Blown up once, you think, pretty repairable. You fly a helicopter into it.
You know who I liked? I liked Kincaid a lot, the old man.
Originally,
I really thought he was going to die.
that whole role was supposed to be for Sean Connery.
Really?
The role, but they end up being it wasn't a thing of him because of what he said. It was a thing of Daniel Craig was against it because he felt it was weird because Daniel Craig's Sean Connery's favorite James Bond, or Daniel Craig's favorite James Bond is Sean Connery, and he didn't want him in it because he's like, Sean Connery is James Bond. It'd be weird to have him play any other character in the universe and not be James Bond. Almost like a respect
I
thing.
like it though.
I know you would you just like any fucking cameo that people you recognize.
Of course.
I don't like it. I'm glad they didn't do it.
But
He
that's
is
the
James
thing.
Bond. He's
That's
not
why
some.
I love Star Wars is because they bring back old characters. I love seeing Darth Maul in Solo. I like seeing that. That was fun.
Yeah, I get. Well, that was the funnest part of that fucking movie.
It was. It was. I did freak out at that part. It's like, oh, it's Maul.
Yeah, and it went nowhere. But no, I don't like having cameos just for having cameos. I think it needs to add to the story a little bit.
But it could have been like nobody, where like the old man, like Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, that was more than just it. But I get it, man. He is fucking James Bond though. So to have his last role be someone else in the series, I don't know. It's iffy too for me. And I like the guy that they got to play Kincaid as well.
Yeah, he was great.
He doesn't have a huge role. I mean, he's not like a game changer in the movie or anything. He's the game warden.
They probably initially, if they had Sean Connery,
Would have had maybe
would have had a different role. Yeah.
Well, he would have definitely been dying. I feel like.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely.
Heroically, though.
Saving Dame Judi Dench, yeah. I don't know if you know, but this is Dame Judi Dench's 17th time playing M in James Bond films. She played M in
many times?
She played M in all the old ones as well, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's her 17th time. So it doesn't make sense, like the continuation of it all.
Sense. Yeah, okay.
But they just love having her in it, man.
Apparently.
And I get it. She's fucking perfect for that role. But yeah, she's great in her 17th time playing it.
See, I have not seen all the James Bonds, so I had no idea about that.
Yeah,
That's
man. And this one
crazy.
introduces a lot more characters. Miss Moneypenny, she's a common character, and she's always M's secretary. She's a common character in the series. Played by Calypso herself, Naomi Harris from Pirates of the Caribbean, and Q. They introduced Q, who is a really well-known character in all of them. That's the quartermaster, the guy who gives them the gadgets.
He's in Spectre too.
Yeah. Once he's introduced, he's in a lot of them. But Yeah, so they introduced 2 well-known characters. But yeah, James Dude, she's been in a lot of 17, yeah.
That's so crazy. Who was the first Bond that she worked with?
I don't know.
Because it wouldn't have been Sean.
No, it probably would have been like Roger Moore or something.
Wow.
I don't even know, yeah.
So she was in the Pearson ones?
It's Pierce Bronson. She plays M in those, yeah.
How did I forget that? I mean, I was a kid when I saw all those, but
They're not like this.
I love those ones.
These ones are by far the biggest, biggest role M has. She's a huge part of the story in these ones. She's usually just the one to give the missions and whatnot. But in these ones, they really play into that mother-son relationship between her and all the Bonds, which is great. I mean, give Judi Dench all the lines she can get.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
She's a great actress.
Yeah. We got to talk about... Oh, go ahead.
That's so funny. We were saying that in the exact same time. We got to talk about the budget for this real quick, though. 150 to 200 million, which is pretty standard for a Bond film.
It's not Quantum of Solace money.
No, it's not. But this was the first James Bond to make over $1 billion or more. It made $1.109 billion at the box office.
Yeah, this film did really, really well overseas. It was the most successful James Bond film overseas. I don't know why. I mean,
specifically, I wouldn't know why either.
I don't know why either, but it's also, to me, I mean, that's why I think this is the best James Bond film too. People just knew, and word of mouth. I know when this came out, people were like, if you're going to see one James Bond film, go and see this. Because people were talking about how Javier Bardem possibly was going to get an Oscar nomination for this. He didn't. But this one was also nominated for the most Oscar nominations. It got 5 nominations.
Wow.
And that was the most of all technical nominations, cinematography, best score, and whatnot.
Stuff, what do you think? You think No Time to Die will get any noms?
Oh, nomination?
Yes. Any nominations, do you think?
Always. I think pretty rarely does James Bond films not get nominated for at least best original song. So, but that means Billie Eilish might be a possible Oscar winner.
That is weird. That is weird. Did Adele win for Skyfall? Or no, she went. No, it was Skyfall. Adele was Skyfall.
I think I want to say she did win, didn't she? I want to say that year because this is one of my.
That was a really good.
This is one of my favorite intros or your songs for James Bond is the Skyfall song. That was when Adele was just fucking on top of the world. I don't know if she won. I can't see anything about it. I don't know what else would win.
I got to be honest, though. I'm so excited for No Time to Die. And it sucks because I'm going to be up in the...
I know.
This weekend, but I'm going to try to figure out something, how I can go. Maybe if there's a theater near, I'll just book it out for 2 or 3 hours and come back.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there is. I mean, got to be within driving distance for sure.
But I got to go see that and Lamb and,
I know. But I can't wait, man. It's something about it. You know what you're going to get with a James Bond film. You know you're going to get nonstop fucking action, which Skyfall is maybe the best one of that. The pacing in Skyfall is fucking phenomenal.
You know you're going to get that opening chase scene
exactly.
every single time.
And that's what I immediately was going into is like, that gets me so fucking excited to know right off the bat, we're going to have a fucking adrenaline-fueled chasing. We don't have to wait. We know what we're going to get.
And that's what I'm looking forward to in No Time to Die the most, because it's the last Daniel Craig one, so they're going to go balls to the wall in that chase scene.
I already saw an interview with him. I think he broke his leg. He did.
He's getting up there, too.
Well, that's why, because if you don't remember, 2010, MGM, who does James Bond films, were in financial trouble. They're going through bankruptcy. So this Skyfall took a while in between. It took a while in between Quantum of Solace and Skyfall to get made.
Yeah, it was 2008 to 2012 to 2015 for Spectre.
Yeah, and James Bond at the time, he was like, Daniel Craig was like, let's fucking make it. I'm getting old. He's like, I can't do this shit forever. So he was really trying to get this made. And he also, this is the time he talked about how he wanted to get out of it. Because he's always been someone that's kind of been in and out of the James Bond role, hit and miss for him. But
I just think it would be so, I think it would be so much fun to play James Bond.
It is, but it is. It's just
It's a lot of work, though.
man.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
For sure.
You got to think you get paid just as much for a fucking rom-com role where you're not jumping up.
Or like Knives Out type thing.
In Skyfall, he did the train fight. He was on that fucking moving train doing the choreography with that guy, while that train was going 50 miles an hour. He was doing all that shit. He was riding the motorcycle on the rooftop. He was doing all that shit, for real life. I mean, that's Daniel Craig. So
it's also very dangerous work as well.
Exactly.
Especially the older you get, the more brittle those
And if you're breaking bones every single time, bro. I mean, and think about this. Hollywood sets have never been safer. Mm-hmm. So for him to be breaking bones on these super it's a dangerous set. You gotta be thinking he's waking up every day being like, what the fuck did I get into?
Yeah.
Like I could die today. And not even that, people do die on these films.
Not every time, but a lot of the times.
Yeah.
2 people died in one film.
So at some point you gotta be feeling kind of almost a level of guilt. At what cost are we making these?
At the cost of how many lives?
I know for sure, but yeah, I totally get wanting to exit at some point.
Oh, for sure, especially at his age, he's done a great job. I don't really give a damn what anyone else says. I thought he was a great Bond, and he is a great Bond.
And he is like a Bond connoisseur, he knows all the films. I mean, he's from England. I assume they make you watch the films in like school and whatnot.
No, they do. It's the Bond class.
Yeah, for sure. So, and he knows there's a history of James Bond's getting older and having to rely more and more on stuntmen, and that's always when the films start to slip quality-wise. So he knows he does not want to get to a point where he has to rely on stuntmen to do stunts. Because right now he's doing 95% of his own stunts,
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Especially at his age. That's like Tom Cruise level. Like doing your own stunts at that age.
And Tom Cruise, to me it's different with Tom Cruise because it's like he's the one like really wanting to do those Mission Impossible.
Well, and he's done it his whole life.
And he's the one like getting them made. I mean, Daniel Craig is like he's being almost drug into these things at this point.
Jesus Christ, guys, I'm almost 55.
But I think five's perfect.
5's awesome. Yeah,
that's exactly what Sean Connery did, and he's a huge Sean Connery fan. So I think that's super poetic for him to end that on 5, just like his favorite James Bond did.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
After watching these, I just want to go back because I've seen the Pierce Brosnan ones because that's the ones we grew up on, and I've seen a few other ones, but I couldn't tell you the actors because I was younger. But watching all of these have really made me want to go back from the first one and watch all of them. I just want to take like 2 or 3 movies a week and just kind of watch them all.
And they're campy, of course. They're taken a lot less serious, but they always got pretty good reviews with critics. I mean,
it's through the decades too, So I mean, when was the first Bond, in the 70s, 60s?
Yeah, 70s.
Yeah. So it's like it would be really cool to see the evolution of Bond and how drastically different. It's like kung fu movies, from the 70s to now, how much drastically different. Yet they still use like wire fu and stuff. It's just a different style. I'd love to do that with the Bond films.
It would be. I mean, I would absolutely recommend it. I mean, I haven't seen them all either, but there's so much history behind the Bond films as well, with like the producers and getting these films made, and because there's this family called the Burchellis who are the owners. They're the gatekeepers of the Bond films. Nothing gets made without them. They own the rights to all the Bond.
Even to this day.
From the 70s to today, the original guy's name was Cubby. It's spelled broccoli, so it might be broccoli, but it's very Italian, so I think it's Brocelli. Or Brocelli or Broccoli. I don't know. But
Brocelli's a cool name.
But the original guy, his name was Cubby Brocelli or Broccoli, whatever. And now his granddaughter is the one running it.
That's wild.
They're the ones to choose the James Bond. They do. It's called... Because all James Bond films are produced by Eon Pictures. That's the company that the Bocellis own. Mm-hmm. But to get the license and everything, they had to go through a bunch of fucking wars and shit. And there's only one Bond film not produced by them.
Is that why we were in Vietnam?
That might be it. Yeah. But yeah, it's so there's a ton of history. The gadgets throughout the early ones, they're a lot more gadget heavy.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, so they're sci-fi-esque gadgets to where like it just doesn't make sense how these things are happening. But they're really fun. There's one James Bond film that's played by a one-off actor, George Lazenby, an Australian actor, who is early on, they like tried to do a really serious take on it, and it fucking bombed. It was way before its time. They tried to do a take like this, really faithful to the films, and it fucking bombed. And the guy never did another James Bond film. One and done. But today, people fucking love that one. Yeah. It's like one of the best ones for sure. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that one.
It's called Her Majesty's Service. There's some weird fucking names for these films, yeah. But it's recommended, yeah. But yeah, that is Skyfall. Is it your favorite so far? Casino Royale and this one are neck and neck with me.
Yeah. I definitely love Casino Royale. I love Mads. I think he's a fucking great Bond villain. However, I thought Javier, and it's a real close between my favorite Bond villain, but if I'm being completely honest, I love Mads, one of the greatest actors, in my opinion. Fucking love him. But I like Javier's villain better in this one, just slightly than Mads. There's so much more depth to his character. With Mads, it was more of a like, oh, I got to pay people off, but Javier
money driven.
Money driven. But this one was
scarier.
Scarier and more of a revenge tale.
Homicidal.
That you sympathize with. You may not have agreed with him, but you sympathize with like why he was the way he was.
Absolutely.
That's what I enjoyed, and I thought Javier knocked it out of the park. So
yeah, for a villain, he gets a ton of character background and story, not like we're used to. We don't get the full fucking story of why Matt Mikkelsen's guy was a bad guy, but we get a full story with Javier Bardem, and I loved it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that is our review for Skyfall. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause. Until next time.
Bye.